You're listening to The Power Project. I'm your host, Brandy Voth. I also like to think that I'm your guide along this journey of purpose, which is where you will hopefully end up at the end of this podcast. I'm a mom, a wife, a daughter, a friend, an entrepreneur, an advocate in the fight against human trafficking. I wear a lot of hats, y'all, but don't we all? And most importantly, I am passionate about inspiring women to go out and lead purpose-filled lives while owning your God-given power. I have this crazy belief that we are all better when we lift each other up, which is exactly why I created this platform. Without further ado, let's jump right in. Welcome back to The Power Project and happy 2020. You guys, can you believe that we are actually in 2020? I know that when I was in elementary school, I remember reading in the highlights book about how we were going to have flying cars by now. Where's my flying car? But seriously, you guys, I'm recording today this New Year's Day special. I'm recording straight from the mountains where I am in a beautiful lodge and enjoying a family holiday. And while I've been here, I've had a few things that I picked up along the way that I thought would really be helpful to you guys, my listeners. There's a lot of chatter about vision. I know that my word for 2020 is vision. There's all types of blogs and podcasts and tips and tricks and Facebook ads about how to cast a vision, how to set a vision, how to realize a vision. And I've had a few interesting experiences while I've been here on this trip that I thought might possibly just help you guys realize what can actually distract you from a vision. Because I think so often it's January 1st, we set all of our intentions, all of our goals, we cast our visions. We're so excited for what the future year has to hold. And then, well, quite frankly, life happens and distractions come along the way. So I wanted to share with you guys 3 lessons from the mountain that can actually hinder your vision. So this lodge that we're staying in, it is absolutely beautiful. It's perched atop of a mountain. It has wraparound windows. It has a view that is breathtaking. And from our bedroom alone, we can see mountains out 2 different sides, this massive range of pine tree clad mountains, snow-capped peaks that extend into the heavens, and just this overall serene setting where you can't really tell exactly where the mountains end and the clouds begin. We've gazed out these windows watching the sunrise and the sunset over this absolutely spectacular landscape. However, this morning we awoke to a different situation outside. We woke up and all we could see were a few pine trees right outside the window. The rest was this blanketed by this heavy snowfall, and it was close to what's called a whiteout situation, where the snow is just falling so heavily you have very limited visibility. There were no mountains. There was no forest in view. We certainly couldn't see the peaks that extended into the clouds in the background. All we could see was this solid white sheet of snow. And as I lay there gazing out into this whiteout and thinking about how beautiful the view had been yesterday and how clouded the view was today, I had to stop and think to myself that so often we are distracted by the current circumstances that are hindering our view and keeping us from being able to fully see the whole vision. Because regardless of whether the whiteout is happening, regardless of whether the snow is falling, the mountains are still there. They are still waiting to be climbed, skied, traversed. Actually, I had 4 of our kiddos that were on the mountain skiing and enjoying the mountain where I just couldn't see through the snow to see the mountain that they were on. But the mountains haven't gone anywhere. There's simply a blanket of snow clouding the view and keeping us from being able to truly see the mountains and the endless possibilities that lie ahead. Now, that all sounds great and beautiful, but how does this apply to us in life? Oftentimes, we cast our vision for the goals that we wish to achieve. We decide to start a new career. We decide to begin a healthy lifestyle. or we determine that we're going to venture out into our very own purpose journey, whatever that looks like. We write down our goals that we wish to achieve in the future. We create action plans. We set time frames. We can feel the excitement of the vision that we have casted. We can imagine ourselves at the end of the goal, seeing the vision come to fruition. I know that every single time that I cast a vision and write those goals down and imagine where we're going to be at the end of it and what it's going to look like and feel like, I have so much energy and excitement and so much love for that vision that I've just set out. And then suddenly, without warning, a whiteout begins. And a whiteout in life, well, it kind of looks like the snow that was falling outside of my window. A friend or a family member says something negative about your vision. They tell you that maybe you're crazy. They tell you that they don't want any part of it. And suddenly, the sun that was shining on your vision becomes a little less bright, and the view becomes to get a little obstructed, a little less clear, a little less precise. Then, an advisor or an investor or a prospective partner, maybe just someone that you really admire, tells you no, they don't want any part of your vision. And worse than that, they tell you that your vision is a bad idea and it will never work. At this point, the snow begins falling and you start to squint to see the top of the mountain. You realize just how much hard work this vision is going to actually take for you to achieve, and the snow begins falling even harder. At this point, you're only seeing the mountains closest to you. And then the heavy burden sets in when you realize the financial investment that this vision is going to require of you. More snow, blankets of snow. And before you realize it, the sheets of snow are falling in the form of doubt, insecurity, rejection, obstacles, and mental exhaustion. And they have completely blanketed the vision in one giant whiteout where you can no longer even see the vision that you cast or the goals that you set. But you guys, something that I want you to realize right now today, the vision is still there. It is still waiting for you to bring it to fruition. It is still waiting for you to fully realize it and own it and stand at the end of it in victory. So what you have to do, you have to accept those distractions for exactly what they are. They are obstacles that will blur your vision momentarily, but they are not obstacles that will keep you from achieving that vision in the future. When the snow stops falling, your vision is there. You just have to see beyond the snow. Because there are two steps to a vision. A vision, it's both mental and physical. Your vision develops in your mind. This is where you dream your vision up. This is where you cast it. This is where you set your goals. This is where you realize achieving it. But the second part is physical. This is where you have to take action in order to actually achieve your vision. And when you let this snow fall and you let this whiteout begin and you let all of these distractions and obstacles blur your vision, you can never move past the mental stage. You can never move past the mental stage and into the physical stage. The majority of people actually never get to the physical stage of a vision. They get stuck in that mental place and they never take action. Before they ever even take the first step to achieving that vision, they let the whiteout shut them down. So the mountains are there, but you have to physically take the steps to fully explore and enjoy all that they have to offer. Once you can accept those distractions in your life as simply a mental block, which is all they are, you then put one foot in front of the other and put the work in to achieve your vision. The second thing that I've learned, the second lesson I've learned in the mountains about just things that can hinder you from achieving this vision is where we're putting our focus, where we're casting our vision. Because not casting your vision where you want to go will 100% interfere with your vision and with you realizing your goals. So we're here with our best friends on this trip. We had the honor of taking them with us last year to go snow skiing, and these are my god kids, and we had so much fun introducing them to a family sport that we love. At this point, we have been taking our kids skiing literally all their lives. They started, I think, around 2 and 5, and our oldest is now 25. He's married, so we have him and his wife, our daughter-in-law, with us, and then we have our 13-year-old and our 10-year-old with us. And we've also brought in our best friend family that has 4 kids from the age of 18 to 11. So last year we were able to introduce them to ski school and let them do some lessons and just kind of get their footing on the mountain and learn what the feel of skiing is, what the basic rules of skiing is. So my goddaughter, who is 11, she only did 1 run on the mountain with us as a family after her ski school last year. So this year, we're in a new place, we're on a new mountain, and I don't know the mountain. She doesn't know the mountain, but she was adamant about going to the top and skiing what everyone else skied. She had already done ski school. She was ready to ski with us. So I wanted her to be confident enough to know that I believed in her, and I wanted her to also trust me enough to know that she could do this. She could do whatever she set her mind to. We just had to work together as a team to experience this mountain together in this new environment. And I'm not going to lie, I was a little nervous because it seems like kids forget things from year to year when they're younger. So each time that we're going in between spans of time, it's been 1.5 years since she skied, it makes me a little hesitant as to how the kids are going to respond to that, what they're going to remember, what they're going to forget. Also, I raise boys. Boys tend to forget 95% of what you say, but in my experience, I've realized that girls are a little different. So as we disembarked from the lift, I went over our plan. I talked to her about the slopes that we would be skiing. I reminded her about making her big S's. I refreshed her on all the things that she had learned in ski school last year. And I told her this is exactly the same thing we did last year in ski school, just a different mountain. So today, I want you to follow me and do what I do. Because on this mountain, there are several different trails that you can end up on that are going to be a more difficult terrain than what you're prepared to ski. So I wanted to make sure that she stayed with me where we were going. So my girlfriend brought up the rear behind the 2 girls that were behind me. She did the filming and followed us down the mountain. So as we took off down the mountain, I was so incredibly proud of how well she was doing, how great she had listened. Because remember, boy mom over here. And I had told her to keep her eyes on me because just like her instructor had taught her, where your eyes go, your skis will follow. She followed my path literally like a permanent shadow for the rest of the day. When I would turn around to check my shoulder, sometimes she was so close I could see her shadow instead of my own. There wasn't one turn that I made that she didn't take as well. When I sped up, she sped up. When I stopped, she stopped. However, along the way, I forgot to heed my own advice. We were making our way down a bit of a difficult blue slope that had uneven terrain and piles of fresh powder as well as a few patches of ice. So since I had the 2 girls behind me, I was doing my best to stay on the smoothest, most groomed path possible. Because I know that with a novice skier, while most people love fresh powder, the powdery mounds that are left on a slope can sometimes throw a new skier off. So as I was looking to navigate the powdery mounds and stay away from the icy patches, I was focused so intently on the ground that I didn't quite make the turn as smooth as possible. Instead, I crossed the back of my skis up, couldn't get them uncrossed, and was quickly lying on the ground on my back, skis pointed uphill, and my goddaughter standing there, watching as I heaved myself back up. I had broken the most important rule. Don't look down. Because when you look down, you go down. Where your focus goes, you will go. She wasn't on the ground next to me because she wasn't looking at the ground. She was looking at me and following where I went. And I'll also add that I was thrilled that she was able to stop quickly enough and not plow into me. That is totally on her. I can't take any any respect for that part. And when I looked down the mountain at the trail that I was skiing the rest of the day, that is where I went. I didn't focus on my current location below me because that wasn't where I'm going. I was going down the mountain, so that is where my focus needed to remain. This is so applicable in life. Cast your vision on where you are going. Don't let your current situation be the focus. Set your eyes on your future vision and not your current position. And also, find a leader that has already accomplished the goal and gone where you wish to go and follow them. Just set your eyes on the prize, not anything below you. Our vision, both mine and hers, were to reach the bottom of the mountain, hop on another lift, and find another slope to conquer. But in order to do that and accomplish that, I had to set my focus on the vision of where we were headed, and she had to set her focus on me. And together we were able to reach our goals. Hey guys, if you've considered starting a podcast, but you're overwhelmed by how to actually launch, I've created a basics of podcasting course over on Skillshare. So you can sign up for my course and get 2 months of free premium membership. Skillshare is where I learn all types of skills that I don't know how to do otherwise. I'll include the link in the show notes. You can head over to Skillshare and search Brandy Voth's class, The Basics of Podcasting. The third thing that can hinder your vision is a very real lesson that we all learned today. It turned into the highlight of our New Year's Day morning, and it's a story that our family will inevitably tell for years and years to come. We were enjoying a lazy New Year's Day morning in the lodge. Some of the group had headed out for skiing while the rest of us had chosen to stay near the fireplace as the snow fell heavily outside. We had really just had fun lounging around, chatting this morning, but the kids were getting a little antsy and wanted to go out and play in the snow because we don't have heavy blankets of white stuff falling at home. So they bundled up and they headed outside for some snowman building, some snowball fights, and sledding down the driveway. So we adults enjoyed the peace and quiet of the house as we huddled around a table near the window, sipped coffee and mimosas, and watched the kids play in the snow. As we were chatting, I was telling them about this trail that we had ran the day before. The girls and I, we had taken this one trail down, kind of a long way home type trail. And it was through an area, like a residential area where there were condos and places that people stayed along the side of this trail. There were signs that mentioned that there was a moose in the area and that they could be aggressive, which we all thought was interesting because I didn't realize that moose were aggressive. My husband talked about how incredibly rare it was to see a moose in real life. And we went on chatting and sipping our drinks. But literally less than 5 minutes later, my best friend, while in the middle of recording the kids playing in the snow, shouted out loud, "There's a moose!" We all jumped up in the middle of whatever we were doing to lean to the window and peer outside to see what was happening. Much to our horror, we witnessed a moose charging up the driveway and the hillside towards our kids. Okay, we scrambled around this 3-story house trying to figure out the quickest way possible to warn the kids and scare the moose off. The window that we were peering out was not one that opened. The moose was in the driveway where the garage doors were, and the kids were on the other side of the moose. So the moose was between the kids and the house. We're literally trying to figure out, okay, what are we going to do here? How are we going to warn the kids? How are we going to scare the kids off? The moose stands having a bit of a stare down with the oldest one and then decides to charge towards the house. The kids, unaware that these are aggressive, dangerous animals, began running after the moose. Now you can imagine if we are from Texas, we have not had to have a conversation with our kids about how moose can be aggressive. So they're running after him, chasing him, as my husband bolted out the lower level side door to shoo the animal away. We open the windows upstairs and we're shouting at the kids to get in the house, stay away from the animal, and we're able to get them safely inside as he shoos the moose off and it takes off to plop down in the trees and stake its territory. At this point, we are all hearts racing, slightly terrified still from the event. We're laughing, it's exhilarating, and the kids were so oblivious to the circumstance that was happening. They saw a moose. They thought it was cool. They wanted to chase after it and check it out a little closer. So this is the third thing that can get in way of your vision, which is unforeseen dangers and chasing the wrong things. The kids didn't know this moose was dangerous. They didn't know it could hurt them, but they thought it was fun, exhilarating, exciting, beautiful. They wanted to chase it. How often in life do we see an opportunity present itself that is actually an unforeseen danger that can hinder our vision? It swiftly appears along the journey while we're striving to reach our vision, and we can't help but take notice. It's impressive. It's grand. It's like nothing we've ever seen before. And we think it might be able to further us along reaching our vision a little quicker. We want to grab hold and welcome it into this journey. However, oftentimes these opportunities are detrimental to your vision. They can cost you time, money, harm. They can send you chasing after the wrong things and actually land you further away from the vision you're trying to achieve. So you need to be cautious before chasing these things or accepting help from people while you're trying to further this vision in life. You have to be aware of the unforeseen dangers, and you need to educate yourself. If you are starting a new business, you need to protect your business against these dangers. You need to build a team of advisors that you trust, that you can go to for advice along the way, and that will help you understand the parts of business that you struggle with. But do your research while assembling this team. You don't want the wrong people to be a part of your team that you're taking advice from for your business. And there are a lot of people out there that will give you bad advice, charge you a lot of money, and leave you no way, shape, form, or fashion better off than you were before. If you're beginning a health journey, don't accept everyone and everything that claims to help you along the way. Ask those that you trust for recommendations as to what has helped them. Listen to people that have actually had results. Listen to people that you trust that have had results. And then find out what's best for you and your personal journey and implement it. Trust me, there are plenty of people out there that will sell you things that they claim to make you healthier in life that isn't actually good for you, but can be pretty harmful for you. So do your research and take recommendations. If you are embarking on a journey of purpose, make sure that you stay true to what you value. Seek out mentorship. Stay humble, meaning that you're willing to take advice from others that know more along this journey than you do. And while I am I'm an absolute advocate of expanding your network and welcoming new people in, you have to make sure that those people that you bring alongside your journey have the best intentions for your vision. You have to make sure that they share the same values as you, because as you become a person that learns to fully walk in purpose and serve others and build out this legacy, you will encounter people that want a piece of that. You will encounter people that don't know how to walk on their own journey of purpose, but want to come alongside and take a piece of your purpose. So just be careful about the ones that you let into that. Make sure they're the right ones. Bottom line, the world is full of moose and they are highly aggressive animals. I do not recommend chasing after them. All right, you guys, that is what I have learned while in the mountains about things that could possibly distract you from your vision and hinder it. I hope that you guys have all set your intentions for this year. And I'm not talking about New Year's Eve resolutions. I'm talking about true vision. the true things that you are dreaming, hoping, and desiring to accomplish in life, the things that wake you up in the morning with your mind racing about how you can impact the world and make it a better place for others. The things that have you getting up out of bed ready to take on the day, the things that have you so incredibly excited that we, right here, have a brand new year to chase a brand new vision. You guys, I am here cheering you on. I can't wait to see you chase this vision this year. I can't wait to see you fully reach your goals. And I can't wait to be your power partner that is walking alongside with you every single step of the way. I hope that you've enjoyed these lessons that we have discussed in this episode today. I know that I am honored and humbled every single week that you choose to take time out of your day to spend with me, to talk and possibly find a little more purpose in this life than what you had before. If you did enjoy what we talked about today, can you please do me a favor? Go write a review, you guys. It is literally my biggest hope and dream for 2020 that every single one of you that listens to this show would go write a review and rate us. I am tickled pink if you want to give me 5 stars. I will accept that gladly. And then share us on social media and tell all of your friends about us so that we can continue to bring you great topics and great guests throughout this year to help you fully walk in purpose and own your power and reach your vision. I can't wait to chat with you next week, but until then, you guys go out and live your best purpose-filled lives.